All right, folks, what is going on? This is episode 777 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller. Over here, we talk about Georgia Southern and Atlanta Falcons football. And there's a reason why I wanted to do this episode at 777. Now, don't get it twisted. This is the floor that I'm talking about. With the schedule that we're about to talk about, I want at least 7 wins. That's the floor. That's not the ceiling. So, with that being said, we're going to talk about the Georgia Southern football 2024 schedule just to see who they're playing, and we're just going to dissect some teams and just see what the game plan would be when we face these teams starting August 31st. So if this is your first time here, welcome. I can be found on YouTube and Rumble. I am also on Anchor, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. If you want to watch the show, you can watch the show on Rumble, and I think it's on Spotify as well if you want to watch it on Spotify. Also, if you want to just listen to the show, YouTube and Apple is the place to be. Just listen to the show as you wish. I could be found on Twitter or X at VF Baller. The website is firstandframerates.com. And if you want to donate to the show, CashApp and PayPal links are below. I really appreciate all the support. You guys are absolutely amazing. Let's go ahead and get into this. 2024 schedule's on deck, and it is not an easy schedule. We have a lot of teams that are pretty good opponents, but I think we can squeak out at least 7 wins. Now, the last 2 seasons, we only had 6 wins. We went 6-7. Last year was kind of disappointing with us losing the last 5 games, and it was kind of a heartbreaker. You got to understand, we were 6-2 at one point. We beat Georgia State. We were 6-2, was on top of the world, and everything just collapsed after that. Hopefully this year will be different. We can turn some things around. And we start off the season playing against Boise State in Paulson, which that's going to be a tough game. A lot of people say Boise State is actually pretty good. So it's going to be interesting to see how we play that team. We are going to be in Paulson, so that's going to be, a big advantage. But we'll see how that plays out. Then we will go to Nevada, going across the country. After Boise State comes across the country to begin with, we will follow them going back up that way, but we will make a stop in Nevada where we will play the Wolfpack. They lost to a Sun Belt team last year. I think, was it Georgia State? I think they lost to Georgia State. I can't remember. But maybe Georgia Southern can return the favor and do the same thing, beat those guys, and that will be a nice way to start off if we can start off 2-0. South Carolina State comes to Paulson Stadium on the 14th of September. That should be a W for us. Kind of like flip-flop, because we usually play the FCS opponents a little earlier, but look, it is what it is. We're playing them in week 3, so that'll be cool. Now, after that, this is probably the biggest test of the season, which it could be debatable based on the rest of the season. Biggest test, we're going to Oxford, Mississippi to play Ole Miss. I don't see us winning that game, but you never know what may happen. Lane Kiffin and company always have a pretty decent team set up to play any opponent. So that's going to be that's going to be a tough one. After that, we have to go to Atlanta. We'll be going downtown to play the Georgia State Panthers. Georgia State has their new coach, Dale McGee. And a lot of people wanted Dale McGee here at Georgia Southern, but he's going to be the coach of the Panthers. I still think we could beat this team. I don't think this team is going to be that good, especially year 1. I will be extremely surprised. We actually punched them in the mouth last year, rightfully so. Because, don't get me wrong. The times that they beat us, it wasn't necessarily because it was a better team. We literally going through a coaching change and we were beating ourselves. Now, this is a situation where they're probably going to feel the same wrath. Going through a new coach, a lot of things going to be flipping and changing. We may get a chance to beat them up there at Turner Field. Yes, it is Turner Field. I don't care what anybody says. And we should walk away with the win. Then we turn right back around and play the Marshall Thunder and Herd. 10-12, that is October 12th. We will be playing those guys in Paulson. I think we have a bye after that. It looks like it's a bye after that. So coming off of a bye, playing at home. Matter of fact, we have 2 games back-to-back at home. That is very, very good for the Georgia Southern Eagles. We should be able to handle the Herd, even though they beat us last year. Kind of embarrassing fashion. It was not a good look, but nevertheless. James Madison, speaking of embarrassing fashion, they're not the same team from last year. They will be coming to Paulson. We should be getting some revenge after that big time blowout. I mean, that team was stacked last year. Very good team. After we beat them the first year they was in the Sun Belt, they came back and smacked us around. Maybe we can give that smackdown back, return the favor. 10-19, they will be back in Paulson. Then we go to Old Dominion on the 24th of October. And yeah, I don't know what to think about this team. I think, did we beat Old Dominion yet last year? I think we did. I cannot remember. Probably didn't. But nevertheless, we will be going up there to play them. Then we have a couple of opponents that we haven't seen in a good while. South Alabama, we go to what is it, Mobile? I think they're in Mobile. Go down to Mobile, Alabama, and we were playing the South Alabama Jaguars. They lost their head coach, but I'm pretty sure they're going to still be a formidable team. Then probably one of the biggest tests, I already said Ole Miss could be the biggest test. Troy, November 16th. This could be the biggest test for us, depending on the standings. Troy is a formidable opponent. They are coming to Paulson, but that could be some big implications for the Sun Belt. So we could be in a dogfight there. We're always in a dogfight with this team. So good to see Troy coming to Paulson. I can't remember the last time they've been in Paulson. So that could be a pretty interesting game to go to and watch. Then we are going to Conway, South Carolina, going to play the Chanticleers of Coastal Carolina. We got a chance to get some get back on them. That was a great game we played against them last year. And hopefully we can continue that trend and beat these guys once again. And we'll see how that goes. In the last game of the season, Appalachian State will be coming to Paulson for another great matchup. Last year, yeah, we saw what happened there. They beat us up pretty bad. Davis Brin with a few interceptions. The team itself just was not into it at that point. The last game of the season, we already lost 4 straight. It almost seemed like Coach lost control of the team, and hopefully that's not the case going into this season. We will be going up against a pretty good opponent because Appalachian State is always a good opponent. But with that being said, us playing in Paulson, I would like to beat these guys pretty good. Last time they was in Paulson, it was a double overtime thriller. Great game. Kyle Vantrease was definitely on top of his game in that game, and it was an awesome sight. Hopefully we can rekindle that magic or reignite that magic again, not in double overtime. I do not want to get any more gray hairs, but nevertheless, if we beat them, it's all good. So that is the schedule. That's what we got right now. On point, we have 12 games. We got 1, 2, 3. You got 6 at home, 6 on the road. That is very balanced, and that is pretty good to see. A couple of away games back to back, and that's not the way that we will want to go, but nevertheless, it's cool. That's going to be like the biggest thing out of, how do we handle the back-to-backs, Ole Miss and Georgia State, and we got another back-to-back with Old Dominion and South Alabama. The biggest test of the year obviously is going to be the Ole Miss game, Troy and Appalachian State. The rest of the games are, if we just play our type of ball, we should be able to win. And the only reason why I'm not really putting in Boise State there, because we're going to be at Paulson. And the fact that we be at Paulson, we should have an advantage, but that could be one of the biggest tests as well. So I guess you could say 4. Appalachian State, Troy, Ole Miss, and you have Boise State. So if we do end up losing, let's just say, for instance, we lose those 4 games. So that gives us an 8-4 record. I mean, I said I want 7 as the floor. If we do get 8-4, I am not against that. Absolutely not. You lose to Boise State, you lose to Ole Miss, you lose to Troy, you lose to Appalachian State, which I would never want to lose to Appalachian State. But just say if it happened, you still have an 8-4 record. Problem is, 2 of those losses that you have will be against Sun Belt opponents. That could be a problem when you're trying to get into the Sun Belt Championship. So let's say if we can get one of those, we end up being 9-3. Hopefully we can get the Appalachian State win, and then that will be absolutely great. That'll give us 9 wins. So it's a tough schedule, but I think we should be able to make some things happen. So let me know what you guys think. If you like this commentary, hit the like button, share this podcast, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. What do you guys think of this schedule? I think the schedule is a pretty tough but respectable and winnable schedule. It is a way that we can see us under 500 again. But it just all goes back to us not playing our type of ball. We take care of the ball. We win a lot of these games. Look at last year. Our quarterback is not going to be back this year. We're going to have a different quarterback. So maybe we'll be able to handle, protecting the ball a little bit better. So if we do, I mean, like I said, those 6 and 7s could be, 8 and 5s. They can be, they can be 9 and 4. You just never know. I can be found on YouTube and Rumble, also on Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. If you want to follow me on X, it is at VF Baller. Website is firstandframerates.com. I also can, if you want to support the show, Cash App and PayPal links are below. Hopefully you guys will check all that stuff out. I will see you guys on the next one. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you on the next one. All right, y'all. Y'all take it easy, and y'all be blessed. Peace.